And now it's time for Photobooth Live Chat with John Young. Here we go. Good evening and welcome to tonight's show here on PBNTV. I'm John Young, your host, and tonight we're going to be talking about managing your business. And I have got Fletcher Price with me this evening. Good evening, Fletcher.
Hey, good evening, John.
Thank you for joining me tonight. This will be kind of a fun little time talking about an area probably a lot of people aren't the most excited about when it comes to running an entertainment company.
Absolutely. Yeah. Running a business is not one of the things that everybody wants. It's on the top of their plate, I guess. It's a fun things to do.
Yeah, it doesn't, but it's one of these things that as you've been in business for a while and a person has run a multi-unit entertainment company, you start to see the importance of having tools to make your life a lot easier.
Absolutely. And DJ Event Planner is definitely one of those tools that is utilized to make your life easier running your entertainment business, DJ Photobooth and such. So absolutely.
Yeah, we're going to dig into that a little bit tonight and talk about how having a tool will help you guys in such with your businesses. Before we get to that, though, we want to kind of remind you in the description of the video, you guys can go down there, and the Photobooth Expo is coming up here in just a couple of months. In February 24th through the 27th, we're going to be at the South Point Casino in Las Vegas. We're going to have the Photobooth track with the Photobooth Expo. We're going to have a DJ track going on with the Disc Jockey News, and we're going to have an exhibit hall. And that exhibit hall is going to be huge. And Fletcher, you're going to be there, correct?
Yes, we will be there.
That is awesome.
Looking forward to it.
This is going to be a great event. Thousands of people come, and they're all going to come down there so they can have Steak and Shake with Fletcher. It's going to be awesome.
That's right. Yeah, I believe our booth, if I looked at it earlier, it's going to be 1401, I think, is our booth number. So if not, just keep walking around until you see us. We're going to be right next to, somebody. I don't remember who it was.
It's a very full.
It could change. Right, it's a full crowd.
This exhibit hall is one of the biggest ones in the mobile entertainment world. The only exhibit area that probably would be close to it size-wise, maybe a wedding MBA with the whole room. I mean, this is exhibitors, photo booth, different things within the DJ community. Just a crazy time. When I do my walk around videos, it literally takes me an hour to walk around. Not that I'm walking fast because you're wanting to scan, but it's a big event. So we're looking forward to that, and we're going to get to meet Fletcher and the team in February. But Fletcher, tonight, let's talk about, though, you've come from an entertainment business yourself, and you've done a lot of different things with managing people and managing the aspects of the business. Let's kind of talk about your experience when it comes to managing. Specifically, you mentioned the managing a multi-system company.
Correct.
Having the tools, kind of give us a little idea of how those tools made that type of a job much easier.
Having the tools makes your life easier because it can automatically do things for you. So automation is one of the big things. I remember the time when I'd have to call 30 clients to try to schedule planners or get balance payments. Even when it came to something as simple as sending an evaluation form, having to touch each and every client, and the next thing you know, you're running behind, or you have a missed phone call. You should have followed up with somebody, but now you lost that sale because you missed the opportunity to reach out to them. Having a tool, being able to put a workflow in place that matches your specific needs, and designing and crafting a workflow, a path per se, for clients to go from point A to point B, frees up not only a lot of time for you to focus on the things that matter in your business, and focus your where you want it to, as far as like marketing and things of that, building your business. Having a tool in place allows you to accomplish a lot of that, and gives you that free time, basically.
Free time, and one of the areas in which, because literally while we've been talking, it actually, in the case of using DJ Event Planner for your business, it becomes a salesperson who's there. And just to make that point, is while you and I've been talking,
Yep.
here's a notification that a bride who went out to my website and was looking at the information was able to utilize some of the tools that I have embedded in the website to request more information, and there's some engagement that I have set up with that. So she's now looking at different things that she wouldn't have
Responding
been.
to that.
Yeah, exactly, and it's that automation you're talking about. So a lot of possibilities. For those who are trying to manage staff, that's an area in which, when I'm talking to people and they hear Mike Walter talk about being a multi-system operator within the DJ realm, companies like we had Catalina talking about her photo booth business, where she has her, and then she has many people working under her. Managing people is tough.
Yes.
We talk automation, we can handle that with the client side of it. What about working with staff? How does it help us?
So getting to be able to assign staff, well, let's take it a step back. Being able to give staff a portal of their own, basically to log into, to see their upcoming events, interact with clients if you want them to. But being able to put in things like time off. I mean, I think that's really, really huge, because you have those instances I know of in the past, and everybody's probably experienced this, that runs an event business. They assign an employee to an event. Next thing you know, a couple of weeks in front of that event, or the week of, the employee's calling you going, I'm out of town that weekend. I told you, do you remember? And that's definitely not good for business when you're switching employees last minute. So you could set up the system to make it easier to notify employees. So as soon as they're added, they get a notification that, hey, you've been added to this event, and the ability for them to confirm or deny that event if you'd like, as well as the ability to check availability when adding an event into the system. So you add that event, you can check the employee availability before assigning that person, know that they're available and not booked somewhere else or requested off. And then you have the automated email system as well too. So you automatically can email employees weekly, monthly, upcoming events, let them know their upcoming time off that they have requested, put together a template. Everything is built based upon templates and schedule. We'll get to that. But just having those automation with the employees is huge. You don't have that double booking situation anymore. You don't have that situation, or I should say it minimizes it, because you're still going to have one employee sometimes that just doesn't want to follow the rules. It happens, but they're going to be on top of everything. And even the reminders for meetings with employees, the automated reminders that you set up to go out, it is insane. There used to be a day where you'd have employees going, well, I never got a phone call. I never got a text. You didn't remind me that I had a meeting. Now the system reminds them that, hey, you got a meeting coming up.
So we have the ability with the staff to keep track, and I absolutely love the ways that they can confirm that, oh, yes, I got the note and I'm available, and I'm committing to that night. When it comes to those entertainment systems that we're going to be sending out, if I have 5 systems that I have 5 photo booths that I'm going to send out, what have you, is it something that I can keep track of those and get to the point where I'm not going to double book? Say if I have a blue photo booth and a red photo booth and a green photo booth,
right.
So I'm not going to double book the blue one. If that's is that something that can be kept track of also?
Absolutely. So you can add all of your equipment into the system. You can add how many you have. And currently right now we're actually, the developers are working on updating it to make it a much more sensible inventory tracker, to put it that way. But when you add equipment to the system as well, or to an event, you can check availability for that date of the equipment that's going out. So it definitely helps alleviate some of that running out of stock, let's put it that way, or equipment for a date. So yeah, absolutely.
Finances. We all hate numbers because we're entertainers. We like to make people smile. We like to make that wedding special. We like to see that beaming bride when she opens up the memory book and that kind of thing. But numbers are important.
Yes, they are.
Is there a component that helps us with that?
Absolutely. So a couple of things. Finances, like I said, everybody hates that. I like the ability to have the clients log in, make payments whenever they want to inside their client portal. So before the event, I personally, being somebody that's been in the event industry for 20 years, I kind of cringe a little bit when I hear somebody say we get payment the night of an event.
Yes, they haven't been burned quite as much as some of us have,
Right.
unfortunately.
So having the system set up automated emails to remind people to make their payments, stuff like that. But also there is financial trackers for built in. There's built-in reports, so you can track detailed monthly reports of how much money is out there, how much money is coming in, who owes. You can also check on your conversions within the money, so lost sales, booked. What else do we got? And custom reports. So there's the ability to set up any combination of custom reports for any information that you want.
Is there a travel calculator? I don't remember if I've seen one.
There is mileage in the system. The instant quote tool, which is what we'll kind of show tonight, which is perfect for photo booth companies, can auto calculate mileage. You can add on mileage. You can attach mileage to a venue. But the instant quote is the spot where it will auto calculate if you use the instant quote. Yeah.
And I don't do mileage that way. I just charge everyone $3.5 million and figure it comes out in the wash type of
Same
thing. Yeah.
Exactly.
It just works that way.
Until the IRS guy comes and goes, how much did you claim this year?
He did it over there. That guy, it was him.
Right.
So there's a lot of different tools that's out there. I want to hit one more, and then I want to jump into some screenshots.
Oh, go ahead. Sure.
The last is contracts. We are in a world where couples don't want to have me mail them something. If I get something to them and they have to print it out, it's like pulling teeth sometimes.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about that capability of being able to generate and sign contracts online.
Absolutely. So with DJ Event Planner, it makes the system extremely easy. So we have e-signature contracts. You can build a contract from scratch. You can have us create a contract for you if you already have a contract. You can also utilize form sharing, which is where a bunch of users have shared different contracts that they've created with other users, and you can import that and change it, edit it to the way that you need. And it's real simple. When you set up the system correctly, all you got to do is click a button. It'll send the contract. They click on a link. It pops up on a window. They look at the contract. They enter their name and click I agree, and it's signed. They don't have to print it, sign it, scan it, send it back. It's all right there.
Ready to go. Excellent.
They can print it once they're done.
So really, the whole concept of the online management tools, it's going to make a person's business run more effectively, increase the communication between staff and clients and such, and really just make those days of I don't even have my planner. I actually had a planner at one time next to my desk, the old flip monthly.
Oh yeah.
All of that is no longer needed.
No, I mean, me personally, I still like to keep a hard copy of things. Just maybe I'm old school.
Yeah, you are.
But I'll still keep like a paper copy planner just to back up. Everything that it takes me back to your central. I don't know if you remember the big great blackout.
Yes,
whatever year that was. Yeah. I think of those, and it's always like, it's nice to just have a copy just in case something happens.
There is that.
Yeah,
that's where my Dropbox. When I print, instead of printing a document, which I used to do, is now I print it to the Dropbox, and then the Dropbox puts it on the iPad, and then there's my version.
Yep, exactly. But it's backed up though, so that's what matters. You got to back up.
So. Let's jump in and take a look at some of the tools and such. And for those of you out there watching, we're going to be looking at some of the tools that are going to be for running your business. And it could be a standalone DJ company, could be a standalone photo booth business. Well, we find that a lot of companies out there right now are doing multiple things at the same time, whether it's running photo booth and photography. They might be doing photo booth and the DJ. They might be doing uplighting. I met somebody who's doing uplighting and photo booth. There's just a lot of different things. So when we look at it, you're going to see some things that are going to apply really well to your situation and some things that may not. And that's the kind of cool thing about it is you don't have to use everything.
Exactly. You can, and I love, back when we switched to DJ Event Planner, I did a lot of researching, and I'm a researcher. I checked out a lot of programs, and one of the big things that drew me to DJ Event Planner back when I first joined was the fact that there was so many options to tailor it to my specific needs and I wanted to do. I wasn't forced to do something in a way that I normally don't or do it. I mean, I still had to change my ways, obviously, because you're going from one program to another,
Right.
but I wasn't forced to give up a lot of options. I
Mm-hmm.
had options, and the other part of it was just the future growth that I saw in DJ Event Planner, and that's one of the other reasons as well. We'll talk about that as well too.
Yeah.
So for sure.
Yeah. I'm gonna have you jump on there because I might have to adjust just some perspective on the screen grab here once you go to a full screen.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Yeah. So let me go ahead and I'll share this window. Yes, this one. Make sure I share the right one. I don't want to share you guys my bank account. You don't want to see that.
Unless there's a lot of money in there and you. Okay, we can see
Right?
it. Yep, we're seeing the main window. We're seeing it from the 3 tabs at the very top all the way down to the bottom. So
Perfect. So, and because we got the Photobooth Expo coming up, I kind of tailored this, what we're going to talk about today a little bit more towards Photobooth, but definitely applies to, of course, DJs. A little background, DJ Event Planner, of course, was designed for DJs in mind. It's been around, started about 2000, and it's still family owned and operated today. One of the biggest things that I think that you're going to find with DJ Event Planner, most people will, like I said, is the options. And sometimes I'll say it's a blessing and a curse at the same time because you can tailor it to be specific to your needs, but there is a lot of options to figure out and get into. So right now we're just going to kind of take a 30,000 foot view of what DJ Event Planner can do and how it can help you streamline your business and manage your business, your event business. So
yeah, and right now you are logged into the account, so we're actually seeing
yes.
the back end. This is not a client view. This is our view. It's the back end.
Yep, this is what you would see if you were a user of DJ Event Planner. And this is when you log in, the main dashboard that you see. You'll see, obviously, we're not very successful in this one because we don't have a lot of events on the weekend.
You're judging.
So this is right. So this is a simple demo account. And the 3 main areas of DJ Event Planner. The first we'll start off with is the website tools, and that's really where DJ Event Planner grew from. Was most importantly this request information form.
Yes.
These tools are the ones that you can implement on your website to have clients contact you, request more information, check availability if you'd like, log into their client portal. It's just a ton of tools here. We're not going to look at a bunch of them. We're only going to look at the most part at 2 of them. The first one is the instant quote that we're going to look at. And I'll show you how that looks online. So this is the ability. It can be used one of 2 ways. One is to get a quote, hence the instant quote. Mm-hmm. The other is you can actually get rid of the quote feature of it and have it be an extensive request information form.
Okay.
And I'll show you what it looks like. I got this little test Photobooth site up here. Nice. It looks awesome. So you can see that we have a button here, get a quote, book now, client log on, get a quote. These are all DJ Event Planner website tools. So when you go here, this is what a client would do when they visit your site. If they're like, hey, yeah, I want to get a quote. Simply they enter the information that you set up. I've set this up to be a little simple so we don't get too deep in things today.
Right.
But let's say we're going to work on a oops, I'm scrolling a little too fast. December 31st, New Year's Eve party this year. Let's do a New Year's Eve wedding. They're late at booking. They can put in what times their events start. Say it goes 6 to midnight. You can see that now you can load your packages in here as well too, and there's a visual. If you have multiple photos on here, this will actually be a clickable gallery. So you can click on the image and it'll pop up.
Sure.
And you can show different images of them. So let's just take this silver package here. If they like it, cool. They hit next. Next that pops up is add-ons. You see we don't have a whole lot of add-on photos in here added yet. Mm-hmm. But you can pick
the idea,
premium. Yeah, say they want the more premium memory book. They want a DVD of photos. They want the premium props. So click next. Now they enter their name. We're going to put my name for now. We'll just put in my email so it doesn't go anywhere inconspicuous. They click view quote. It gives them a quote. So they go, okay, cool. So it's going to cost me X amount of dollars. This is what my retainer is or my initial payment.
Right.
And you have the option with the instant quote too to collect an initial payment when they make the quote, which is great for photo booth companies because that gets them to, those ones that are paying right now when they get the quote, they're serious about booking. Obviously, the next step is moving on to contract, and moving things along.
So
Or they
Fletcher,
could just
oh,
go
hang
ahead.
on, back to that, please, if you
Oh, yeah,
can.
sure.
When you get to that quote, that's okay. Yeah, you don't
That's all
worry
right.
about
Yeah.
it. When you get to that quote page and it says make a payment. Now the system
Yep.
prior to that would have been smart enough to know that if my silver package is already booked out, it wouldn't have shown on that part.
Yeah, shouldn't show on that part. I always say shouldn't because of technology. Um,
But yeah, so
but
if the
right,
silver would be unavailable for the night, now it would have only shown available for that night because it checked the date. It's going to say, oh, that night the only thing that's available is the bronze and platinum package, and then as a potential customer, then I wouldn't be booking something that wouldn't be available.
correct. And you can set these up as well too, where we have here what type of event are you planning. You can have different packages assigned to different types of events. So if you have packages that are solely for, mitzvahs or quinceañeras or birthdays or corporate, you can have those when they click next. Those are the only packages that are going to show up
Right.
here. So they
Nice.
won't see all those packages. Same thing for the add-ons, which is really important when it comes to getting that with the system.
Nice.
So once a client fills out their form on here, you'll get a notification in your inbox. You'll also receive a notification up here inside of DGAP that, hey, somebody's requested a quote. Awesome. And it found my email address because it's already here in this test account. That's why it says we found matching records. And DJ Event Planner makes it so simple to add the event, because right up here you have click add to the event system. You just make sure that all the information is correct. Of course, I didn't capture my
Right. The full
postal address and stuff like that, but everything else that the client had put in is going to be in here except for custom questions. So if you ask them custom questions, you'll have to add those to the spots that you want them to be put into. But all you got to do is click save and we have an event. So that's one of the website tools. The other one is going to be the client logon, and that's right up here. And all these can be embedded in your site or direct linked. So this one I'm actually linking to our domain. And if you do one of the standalone domain packages or higher, you can get your own URL. So it shows up here. So myphotoboothbusiness.com/client login.
Yep.
Gets rid of the DJ Event Planner branding as well, which is important because it keeps branding consistent.
Yep.
So once that client logs in, they're going to be able to take care of a couple things, however you set up in their portal. No, I think I'm logged in too many times.
Yeah, you're logged in as an admin. You're logged in as an end user.
Oh, yeah, I did. I just got kicked out because I tried logging in 2 different ways. All right. We're going to pull the event back up again. So let's see if we can go to an event real quick so we can show you what that looks like. So the second part, aside from in combination with the website tools, is the planning side and the planning aspect of it. When a client logs on, and this could be set up to whatever graphics you'd like, you can alter this to match your website. I should
And this
say.
is what the
branding
end user would see.
Correct.
Yeah.
So this is what the end user would see. You can edit this text in here. They can view their upcoming events. They can view their emails. If they have any upcoming meetings scheduled. If we had a payment system set up, which we don't in the demo account, they could click right here, make a payment, send that payment through, and they're set to go.
Sure.
They can plan their event. Currently, right now, we only have a timeline visible on here because it's a Photobooth client. And there is a Photobooth planning form that hasn't been added to this event yet, but you can add all your additional questionnaire forms that you want them to fill out to here. They can edit that form in here, save it, and it's going to be stored in their account. Makes it real easy for the end user, your client, your user, to plan the event and get you the information that you need. So this is just the client portal, simply what the end user will see. And then the other side of planning is getting to plan with the client. So if I'm meeting with the client, I have access to all of the planning forms right here within their event that they've filled out. I can access those and I can edit those as need be. Music, obviously, if you're running a photo booth company, is not going to pertain to you. But for DJs, there's a music request system where guests can put in, I should say, our clients can put in their specialty songs, their must plays or do not plays. However you set it up, you can set the categories that you want them to fill out, etc.
Sure. Yeah.
But then that third part, so the three main areas: website tools, planning, and then back-end business management, which includes financial, contracts, employees, etc. And let me know if I'm talking too fast for you.
No.
I tend to.
Yeah, we're just, again, you're doing the overview, giving an idea of
Right, exactly. So I like to, sometimes I'll jump through things. So ease of use, making your life easier. Let's first talk about once that event comes in, they contact you, they want to book. All right, so you want to send them a contract. Through the use of something we call booking helpers. Booking helpers is assigning a bunch of tasks to one button.
Okay.
Which makes it a lot easier, because back in the day, or even with some software, you have to go to maybe a documents tab, create a document, etc. With this client right here, I have these buttons up here.
Yep.
That I created. These are called booking helpers and labeled as quick helpers here. You see that I have a bunch of different functions that I can do. So getting this client booked, I have a button called send contract.
Right.
So in order to send that contract, all I have to do is click send contract. It's going to tell me, hey, do you want to send the contract? I can go, I do. And that's going to pop up here and say your contract date was, or your contract sent date was set to 12/11, and then it was emailed to the client on this date. So now when I go into the contact history, I see that, oh, look, on 12/11, I sent a contract. And because through the use of magic, but through use merge tags and things like that, you'll see that this email is still waiting for an e-signature.
Okay.
And we talked about how clients can do that, and we might as well show that super duper quick for you. Let me grab this link so I can keep it all in the same window. So when the client gets the email, they're going to get that email. It's going to have the link in here. They can click on it or copy and paste it. They're going to receive the contract that's filled out with all of their information.
Which they can print out if they want to print it out.
Yes. So they can read over it. Obviously, we can put an address in here. This contract that I sent does not have the company logo in it yet.
Right. Yeah.
But down here at the bottom is where they can sign. You can have multiple e-signatures. So I know some people are 50-50 on that. Does the bride side, does the groom sign?
Both,
do they both sign? So you can set it up to have both bride clients sign it, I should say. Actually, I think this person's name was Missy something.
Yeah.
So they put in all of their information. And then they click I agree to the terms. I click submit. And I guess your document has now been signed. Thank you. So now when I go back to their event, I'll now see that their contract was e-signed. And I can get a copy of that document if I want to. They're going to get a copy of that contract in the email, in their mail,
right.
In their email, not postal mail, but email, digital mail.
Yep.
And they're booked. It's real simple. So that was a real quick overview of how to send a contract.
Yeah, no,
now it's a little bit more difficult to set up than that. So a real brief overview of how we do that. We have document templates that we can set up and utilize and categorize based upon their specific needs. So here's a photo booth contract, for example. This is an HTML contract, and it's as easy as typing in to the document. For example, this photo here, we're going to actually edit this photo. And I'll do that for you guys. We're going to go to our photo booth website. So for images, we link to images to keep DJ Event Planner moving smoothly. So I'm just going to right click on my image, click copy image address. I'm going to paste it in this box here. It's going to pop up with a preview. You can always play around with alignment if you want to, the size, space, etc. I'm just going to throw it in there for right now. Maybe we'll do a little bit of spacing on the top there, not that direction. Move it down a little bit. There we go. And so you can make it bigger, etc. And then you obviously save it when you're done. There's different settings that we can do with contracts, which I love, which can help you keep the system not only more organized, but again, help you with a lot of different things. So the e-signature contracts, if you're somebody that needs to have a contract signed within an X number of days and you want to get that client moving to confirm that booking, you can set it to expire automatically.
Sure.
So if you tell them they got 10 days to sign the contract, on day 11, they go to click on that link, they're going to get a message, either the default message, or you can create a custom message that says, hey, you missed out. Please contact us for an updated contract. You can have contracts and documents for only specific events. You can countersign the document automatically, manually, or have it disabled like it is currently.
Sure.
There's automations that you can do in here. I won't get too deep into these because there's a lot of things that could go on, but because that'll be the next step that we'll get to, is the automation side of it, which is a really big topic, of course, very lengthy, and we're just going to briefly go over that. But you can automatically have things happen once the client signs the document. So you can change values within the event and send emails once it's signed. So you can send an email to the client, an email to the person who signed, an email to the assigned employees. You can also receive, as a master administrator, which would be us, the user,
Yep.
and the signed salesperson, an SMS notification too that, hey, this contract was signed. And then a visibility is, again, just how you keep the system clean. You know, where do I want to see this document for what types of events? If I have a document that is, say, Photobooth specific only, if I'm running multiple services, or wedding only, I can set this to be for only those things. And I can also set it for specific spots in my workflow through event statuses. So event statuses, and we'll get into that with automation, which is where I was going to go to next a little bit, with other reminders and stuff. So everything in the system automation-wise is set up based upon three main factors. Excuse me. The first of which is event status. So what is the event status? Is it a new lead, an active lead, a booked client, a completed client? Event type is the second one that it's based upon. So wedding, corporate event, birthday party, quinceañera, bar mitzvah, bat mitzvah, whatever. And the third is a date. And I say a date because obviously with all of us, the most important one is the event date. But you can schedule things to go out based upon other dates as well. So date of inquiry, a date of a certain status change if you wanted to do that, date of contract sent, and we'll get into that a little bit further. And the really cool thing is that you can narrow it down even further and get a little bit more granular by setting automation up with documents and emails based upon the package that's assigned, the add-on that is assigned, the employee that is assigned, and payments that have been made or not made in that aspect. So we'll go over a couple of them real quick. One of my favorite ones that I love is, I call it upsells, or even just follow-up. This here is our email templates that we have created in our sample account. So we have one called Active Lead. In a real world, I'm going to have multiple of those because I will often say that just like any other purchaser that's buying something, a client of ours sometimes needs to be touched 10 to 12 times before they'll make a decision. So having these emails in here, once a client comes in, they submit a quote or they contact you, or you add the event into the system, you can set up emails to go out to that client X amount of days after that initial inquiry date. So for me, a new lead is someone I haven't talked to yet. So maybe they've emailed in, I haven't responded yet, or I should say I have responded yet, but they haven't responded to me. We can still send them follow-ups automatically through the system. Once they follow up, we can now call that maybe an active lead, or if we sent a quote, we can call it a quote sent lead, and you can schedule emails to go out based upon that. I like booked upsells because so the client's booked, obviously they got the basic package. Let's get more for them. Let's give them a better service. Let's get more equipment out there, get them better set up. You can send emails out, as I said, based upon a few things, and we'll show this email. This is a real simple email by all means. So it's a simple upsell, upgrade to a premium memory book, and it's set, the settings on it, you decide where it's going to go. It's obviously going to go to the client, but scheduling. on this email. I'm going to send this email 120 days before the event date. And I want it to go to every event because this add-on is available for every event type. The event status, I only want to go to book clients. I don't want to send an upsell email to somebody I'm still trying to sell.
Right.
Right. I only want to upsell clients that already have us reserved.
Mm-hmm.
You can select what package that this email is going to go out to, and add-ons. So for example, I have this one, selected add-ons not assigned. So premium memory book and supplies is not assigned to that event.
Right. So you're not selling them something you already bought.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So you can get really granular and really specific with these emails, which makes it really, really cool. I think because and not only that, and there's so many things that you can do, just educational emails, keeping yourself in the front mind of the client.
So Fletcher, let's look at this example you've got in front of us here.
Sure.
The memory book. If the client wants to buy that or add that, what happens? The email goes out and says, "Hey, add this." How does the client do? Do they have to contact me, or is it something that they can click and add it themselves without me having to have a touch?
So for this system right now, they have to contact you. So they'd email you or call your office and say, "Hey, I would love to upgrade to the memory book."
Okay.
And you go, "Okay, cool. Absolutely." So we're going to add that to your event. And we're going to go to an event that doesn't have a memory book, maybe. And we have a booking helper up here to make life easier. Oh, because we've already added the memory book on this event. Let's go to it. I thought that was the right one. Let's go to this one here. Where is it? Oh, you know what? I was doing a little bit of testing earlier, and I think I might have added the memory book to a lot of events. Why is it not showing up here? Oh, because this one had the premium memory book as well too. So I'm going to go delete that real quick.
You've already given everybody the memory book.
I give everybody a memory book, yeah.
You get a memory book. You get a memory book.
Yep. So we're just going to remove that add-on, save. Now, here we go. So, don't tell me I'm going to have to refresh it real quick. Sometimes technology always wants to be the best. Let me see here. I might have actually not finished setting that up. Oh, I did not. So we're going to show you how to set that up real quick to make things real simple. I was testing the other equipment earlier. So to add equipment to a system and make it easier, we're going to put we're going to create a booking helper called Add Premium Memory Book.
Mm-hmm.
The cool thing about it is you can assign a button color to these, so whatever color you want it to be. We'll pretend that the memory book is black, so we're going to make it a black button.
Sure.
I can show it only on specific events. So for this, I probably only want to see it on booked events. Maybe I don't want to see it. I'm not adding equipment yet to anything until it's booked. Again, it all depends on your specific workflow.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of tabs up here. We're not going to go through all of them right now. So for this one, we're just assigning a piece of equipment. We're going to go over here. We don't want to assign a white backdrop. We're going to assign a premium memory book to the event. We're going to save the settings. We're going to go back to that event. And now, oh, that's the wrong one. No, isn't it? Oh, goodness gracious. Leave it to myself to... Did it not show up? Oh, you know what? I bet
there
it is. Okay.
Yeah.
I just need to reload. So now we have Add Premium Memory Book. So now we add that premium memory book to the equipment. And now when I come down here to resources, when we talked about equipment, I can see that
it's there.
The memory book was assigned to this event. Yeah. And same thing as well. I can make that booking helper when they do that upgrade. The other thing I did not do was add that add-on to the event. Sometimes I move a little bit quick.
Mm-hmm.
myself, but so you can make that go double fold. It's going to add the equipment and add it as an add-on.
You can also set it up so once that booking helper was triggered, that it could be sending emails to you, to staff, reminders to the important people who need to know, I'm guessing.
Correct. Yeah, mm-hmm. Absolutely. So that's where I have, for example, the send contract. You'll see that it's on all events. Mm-hmm. Statuses right now, because in case you have an event that wants a copy of their contract, you can quickly send it that way. But
Right.
I only left it there for that. But underneath here, send emails. We send an email to the client, Photobooth contract signed. If you want to let your employee know that a contract was sent out for them, you can send an email template as well to the employee. You can send it to the salesperson. You can send it to the master administrator.
Sure.
There's a ton of things that you can set up in here. Again, this is probably a super detailed episode. Booking helpers. We actually did not I didn't do a webinar. One of our power users, Danny Weber, did one, and we barely got through booking helpers in an hour or so.
Oh goodness, yeah. There's a lot there.
So there's a lot of things you can do. Yeah, absolutely.
So Fletcher, one of the big questions people are going to ask is when you're putting together a management system at a level. Let's just go
Yes.
A level, not this level. How long does it take to get some of the components implemented so I can start to use some of the or take advantage of some of the process?
That is actually a really, really good question. So it does take a little bit of time to set up. You have to prepare yourself for that. You can't jump right in and start using the system flawlessly right away. If you take the time, you could get it set up in a couple of weeks for sure. It's because it's a matter of importing your contracts and building a workflow. If you're just simply sending contracts and you don't care too much about automation and everything else, you can get going, right away. Just add your contracts, start adding clients, import, and put your website tools on your website. That's a real basic of it. But in my opinion, you're not using it to its fullest advantage.
Certainly, yeah.
So
there's so much there.
Right. To do that, I always let people know, I say, take a moment, think about the path that you want your clients to take from that very first contact to post-event follow-up. Because that's the other bonus of the system too, with that automation, is you can send post-event follow-up, your evaluation emails, send out a happy anniversary if you'd like. 365 days after the event date. That one can kind of get tricky depending on the divorce rate in America.
And that's another topic for another show.
Exactly. You may get something back saying, thanks, but no thanks.
Yeah.
But so, and just, so the first step is figure out that path that you want clients to take. Assign a status. It doesn't have to, the status is inside of the system. You can edit to be whatever you want. So if you want to call a specific step as something specific, you can name it that. And once you have those statuses in there, then you can start building that workflow. What are the emails that you want to send to that client? What are the things that you want to have that client receive? And that's the first main basic workflow for that path for the client to go. The second is start thinking about, what do I need to do with this client interaction wise? How do I want to track my equipment? How do I want to label my packages, et cetera? I know there's a lot of times, I was actually speaking with a client earlier today who had multiple contracts that were created they had a contract for each package. And they had no idea that utilizing the use of merge tags, they could have one contract that'll auto-populate with the package that the clients have, which they're very, very happy about. This was somebody that was new to using somebody else's system.
Okay.
So they had a system that was already created for them. The second is, and I can't remember if I said this earlier or not, but I stress to anybody when using DJ Event Planner, one of the great things that I like to think we do is obviously have a demo call and a trial. In fact, actually a 30-day trial, except for our viewers today, we're going to give them a free 60-day trial. 60 days to set it up without paying anything. But I always suggest take the time, use that trial, set it up, take a demo. There's no charge for the demo. It's a chance to learn the system, get questions answered, specific to your business as well. And then even that, once we have a subscriber who subscribes, we do offer a free intro call. So now they're further along in the system. They have a few things they want to tweak and get finalized. We can absolutely set that up and help them answer those questions and get those finalized as well. So for any users, that's going to be one of the quickest ways to help you get it set up. Take use of the resources that are available to you. With any software, not just ours, any software you go to that offers that. Take advantage of it.
Oh, for sure. That's why those resources are there to help make that process easier.
Absolutely.
And yes, you can figure it out, but it's going to take some time. You mentioned it'll take a couple of weeks to get up and running. I mean, that's not 2 weeks of 8 hours a day, 6 days, 5 days a week. That's implementing pieces here and there as into that thought process you had described earlier of that
Absolutely.
workflow.
Yeah, it's not something you can jump right into and start. You can and think that you're going to pick it up right away, no matter how tech savvy you are. I know it took me a little while to get things implemented on when I first started using DJ Event Planner. I'm going to tell you again, I've been using it for almost 10 years, and there's still things I find sometimes that I forget about because, oh yeah, there's all these different options, and not necessarily to toot our own horn or selling point, but selling point. One of the reasons why, again, I love DJ Event Planner and what made me choose it as a user was the fact that the system and the software is built for our users. It's built based upon their thoughts, their ideas, and their wishes. So with that said, we do have something called a wish list on our support forum where users can go in and, hey, it would be sweet if the software could do this,
Yes,
etc., and let the developers know. And if it's something that a lot of users could utilize, they'll absolutely think about implementing it, think about the process, and if it's something they can implement, they'll work towards doing that,
right,
to make your life easier when you're using the software. And that wish list, when users go to it, there's thousands of wish list items, and they're halfway through it. So, and support. I think support is another huge issue. You have the support form that's available to you. We have live chat that's available 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, Central Standard Time. And then for our premium users do have dedicated phone support as well. So they can call during business hours and have a question answered. And I know if Justin's probably watching this, he knows what he's talking about. He's called me like 3 times today with just simple questions, and that's what it is. That's we're here to help. We're there to help people, because the last thing we want to do is have anybody get frustrated with the software, because we know there's a lot of options. And with that said, I mean, one of the other big things is functionality versus cost. The amount of functionality that is with DJ Event Planner versus the actual cost to own DJ Event Planner, use DJ Event Planner, it's amazing. In my opinion, it's just outstanding, the cost. Almost one would go as far as to say ridiculous as far as cost. So, but I'll tell you, one of the things what I love to hear about is new users who come into the system that have never seen the system or used the system before get so excited.
Oh yeah,
they're excited. They can't wait to jump in and start using it. And we're there to help them get that moving along.
Yeah, for sure. Again, for those who are looking at it, there's a lot there. It looks intimidating, but it's something that you can start implementing incrementally. Pieces here, pieces here, pieces here. You don't have to have the contract the first day entered into that. You can just do the instant quote, working on putting your packages in today, and tomorrow you can do the next. There's just so much, and if you take it little bites at a time, you'll get there.
Absolutely. I mean, it's amazing. For me, it was amazing just how much easier it made things and how much time it freed up.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing. You're able to be more responsive with your clients, do the booking side of it, and free yourself up to be able to do the things that you want to do, as opposed to being the person pushing papers and bookwork all the time.
Correct.
Which happens. Fletcher, one more time, if people want to go, you guys were going to be doing a 60-day trial.
Yes.
People, tell us more about that and how they can take advantage of that.
For sure. So to sign up for a trial, simply head to djeventplanner.com, click sign up now, and there's a free trial from there. In fact, you can't even subscribe to the system until you sign up for a trial. So in the sign up, there is a referral code spot. And if you put in the referral code PBNTV, so PBNTV, Photobooth, you know what I mean?
TV, yep.
Yep. And that's going to give you a 60-day trial.
Nice.
So normally our trial is 30 days long. That's going to give you 60 days to test out the system, which again, I think is great because it gives you time to set up your system before you start using it with clients. Even in the trial, it's the same as our basic subscription level. So it's fully functioning. Everything that you saw is there. There's a few things that are not there on the basic versus the premium domains, but they're minimal. So like calendar links are static, which means you have to update them when you add events or an appointment. Whereas the standalones and higher, you get dynamic links and they'll update automatically for you. But just a few of those things. But yeah.
So really all the tools you need to function are there for you for that 60 days. So you can
Yes.
go create, try it out, ask some questions and such as you're going through a little bit, and be ready to roll if that's going to be a good option for your business.
Absolutely. So PBNTV, put that in the referral box, 60 days, free trial as well. The live chat support is tremendous help. The demo call is a tremendous help as well. As well as there's a DJ Event Planner users group on Facebook. We have a lot of users who are very happy and willing to share information with you guys to help you make your business run smoother. So,
Yeah, great. Fletcher, thank you much for your time tonight. A lot of great
no problem,
information, and we'll be looking forward to seeing you in February down at the Photobooth Expo. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being with us tonight, whether on YouTube or Facebook. If you need to get your tickets for Photobooth Expo, down in the description of the video, you can go to pbntv.com/tickets, enter promo code PBX Show 2020 to get the best rate on your tickets. You can get that tonight. You can get that tomorrow because it goes up here at the end of the year here on December 31st. The prices go up. So get your tickets now, and we will see you in February. Fletcher, one more time, thanks for being with me tonight.
Thanks, John. Thanks for having me. See you guys in February.
Bye-bye.